Welcome to News Inside. Breaking news, guys. Kaf, how was the weekend?
Very fine.
Philip, you look good.
What is breaking the news anymore?
Breaking news. Impeachment notice issued on Fubara.
It's really quite.
I think it's a joke taken too far.
You know, I saw the notice. I was like, could this be real or they were just joking? And honorable notice of allegations of misconduct brought pursuant to Section 188 of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended 1999. You know, they now went for that with the reference acts of gross misconduct in the performance of the functions of the office of the governor by His Excellency Sir Sim Fubara, Governor of Rivers State. You know, people think that there is no stopping to litigation. Like lawyers have always said, there must be an end to litigation. Making litigation to be some other things, there must be an end to anything. Rivers people have rights to peace. Granted, both sides have done certain things
that were not constitutional.
That were not really the best thing to do at that moment. You know, a lot of them were triggered by survival mode from both of them. Like Fubara going to demolish the State of Assembly under the guise of renovation or whatever. I mean, we are calling it guys because we are trying to see beyond the surface evidence. Yes. These other people themselves had affidavits sworn that certain things happened. They went further to withdraw that affidavit. Do you withdraw affidavits?
No.
Tell any statement you make under affidavit is so, let me tell you, that is why I felt that the Supreme Court judgment, in as much as it remains our law, Fubara wouldn't have been ruling like a king without legislators.
4 members.
Without 4 members. But there's nothing that said that those legislators must remain those people. They went to the national television, they camped, showed, tendered their resignation that they are no more members of PDP. That should suffice as evidence anywhere. That where they are going, they didn't register them or whatever. They could be rejected, they could be partyless.
Yes.
There's nothing that said that they can't be partyless. You must not belong to a party. Do you understand? So, and now, if they had said that fresh people's election should be conducted and fresh members of the State House of Assembly elected within certain number of days, that would have sounded like equity. Now, what the judgment they gave is more of political, but like they have always told us, the judgment of Supreme Court is low by the temperature of the citizens. Maybe they wanted the peace. We thought that judgment was to foster peace,
so and bring them together. That's why you see a lot of sons still fighting that judgment today. Go to television, you see a lot of sons coming out to fight that judgment. But we said, okay, let's take it as our law. Peace first. The nation first, the people first before the law. Without people, law is for who? It's the law for spirit. So that's why it's okay. If the Supreme Court has come to restore democracy, restore the State House of Assembly, make sure that the rivers will have the peace they required for their development, fine. Now, they are throwing up impeachment. When the budget you ask him to present, he has come to present
and you were not there to be found. The next thing, you don't use impeachment to settle political scores. Impeachment is for gross misconduct, through gross misconduct, not gross misconduct. These legislators shouldn't act like they are robots under the hand of Wiki. Otherwise, they will lose their respect.
Philip, it has become something that is going the way it ought not to go. Really, I'm going to tag it, really. What does Wike really want?
You see, it's a funny thing that we're having this in Rivers State. Because one would think that after the Supreme Court judgment, all parties will shave their sword and then they will sit down and see how they can move Rivers State forward. We have said on this platform that at this point, this is when Fubara should display, leadership.
Maturity.
And he has done that. He has written to them, whichever way he wrote to them, he has tried to see them. We had gone to there, they deprive him, access to the House of Assembly. What do they really want? Do they want peace or they want war? They should realize that no man is an island of violence.
Yeah.
Whatever you can do, any other person can do it better. So, I don't think they meant to say they want a peace Fubara because the after effect, they can't manage it. I hear that Wike said if they peace Fubara, heaven will not fall.
Yeah.
The heaven will fall on his head when they impeach him. So I would not pray for that, because the man who goes to look for trouble is not the only one that suffered the collateral damage.
Yes.
Because if Rivers State is in flame today, the whole country will be in trouble. You and I will also suffer. I think at this point, the presidency and all that are concerned, the political leaders and the elder statesmen, they should rise to the occasion. They shouldn't allow Rivers to degenerate into crisis that will snowball and swallow the country into another civil war. We can't afford it at this point, because you may think it's Rivers State. This is the entire nation that is in trouble, because if people had issues, they should be settled. And if there's an avenue for settlement, everybody should embrace it. There's an avenue for a settlement. You are trying to increase the tempo of war. How do you mean you want to impeach Fubara? The first governor from the riverine area of Rivers State. You are really calling for trouble.
Okafor, you see, the things we see in the political scene, our own is to look at how it is. I've always said we are like people working in the laboratory.
Yeah.
Do you by any means, because the last statement we heard from the presidency or from the president is that the Supreme Court's judgment should be abided by, should be obeyed.
Yes.
From that time, even when Fubara, first of all, dislodged the local government, went to the assembly, we have not heard any other thing from the president. And
how many? One was is it up to 2 weeks that this judgment came out? See, if you have 37 children, FCT, 36 state and the FCT. If you have 37 children, will you focus on one? Enough of Rivers State. Will you focus on one? Do you know the energy Tinubu has put into settling Wike? Wike said that when they impeach Fubara, heaven will not fall. If Asiwaju sacrifice Wike, heaven will not fall. The only reason why Wike is not being investigated, or is not even being tried, or is not in jail today, is because Asiwaju is holding him. If Asiwaju sacrifices Wike,
he will preserve Nigeria.
He will preserve Nigeria. If Asiwaju sacrifices Wike, heaven will not fall. What is wrong with this man? Enough. You will come to television, you say you are not involved. You come to television, you say you are involved. Which one do we take? This Supreme Court judgment, we were the one blaming Fubara like that. They take over the leadership. Invite, I think you are even against it.
Yes.
We said, let Fubara invite these people, or write a letter to go and meet them. A lot of people were even abusing us on internet. At the end of the day, Fubara did what we asked him to do. Whether hearing from us or not, at least he told that line to show reconciliation. Enough. If Wike likes Rivers State, it's enough, and it's enough. He once said that he made a mistake, that support for Fubara was a mistake. You want the entire Rivers people to continue to pay for your mistake? You made a mistake, you go home and nurse your mistake. Go home and nurse your wound. Go home and nurse your wound. You made a mistake of bringing Fubara, like you have said. It is not of Rivers people to pay for your error.
Is it the only person that has made a mistake?
Don't you make mistakes?
I'm sure that every Friday we say it made mistake in Sanuba. I mean,
but there is peace in Kaduna State.
And then
did what you should do.
And then he couldn't enter Benin for 4 years when Lucky was governor. In the later part of his governorship.
Now,
4 years.
When you wear L5 and Wike, who do you say is a more honorable person?
He's of course.
That's all.
So, because you see, the reason I was talking about the presidency is the fact that Rivers State is a very important factor in deciding who becomes
If Asiwaju decide to realign with Fubara, what will happen?
I've said it before, that look, we shouldn't see it as a Rivers thing. We should see it as a problem that is facing this country. Considering how Rivers State is being positioned in this country, it's in the riverine area. And the bulk of the revenue of this country comes from rivers. And the people from the riverine area are people with short temper. They can do things in a jeep, and that will put the country in a flame. So, like, whether the president had 37 sons, when you look at the Bible, when the prodigal son left and came back, the father celebrated him. I think the president should take a further step. Like he said, if it means sacrificing Wike, because his being in office is aiding him. I think the first thing to do is to relieve Wike of his appointment. Let him can face Rivers since he's interested in Rivers.
Simple.
So the president should do something. He can't stay away from it.
They say evil prevails in society when good men fold their hands and do nothing. We have PANDEF, that's Niger Delta Elders Forum.
Yeah.
We have elders in River State. River State doesn't belong. If you are calling who is who in River State, actually, Wike doesn't stand the place.
See, Wike is just active now because he felt Asiwaju need him. Do you understand? He wants to maintain his own relevance with Asiwaju by claiming the ownership of Rivers. That's all. When Amechi left as governor, Amechi was a minister too under Buhari.
Yes.
He never went on troubling anybody.
You know what you said is this. If he made mistake, he should be man enough to nurse his wounds and not to take it to rub off the entire Rivers people. I think at this point, this is no longer what is legal, what is not legal. It should be right. Political solution. Because if you don't provide a political solution, you want to look at it from a legal perspective, the country will go in flames. I know what I'm talking about. Because River State is too important and it's too strategic for us to toy with it. So the president, I still go back to it, they need to do something. They need to call Wike to order. They should stop that impeachment. It's a joke taken too far. And if they try it, I can assure you the Ijaw people will not take it lightly. And it will not be just Port Harcourt. It will be everywhere.
Because he has already talked about the Ijaw people in a very derogatory way.
No, he tries to kind of debase their struggles.
Yes.
He tried all he can to ignore all the things the Ijaw people, not necessarily Ijaw people, most of the Niger Delta has suffered as a result of oil exploration. It's unfortunate that just to preserve yourself, just to make yourself relevant, the entire struggle that swallowed people like Kensoroliwa and Co and all that, you put it up in a box and say there's nobody that has monopoly of violence. When you do what? Monopoly of violence necessitated by what? Necessitated by attempt to preserve you. What is it that Wike has not gotten from Rivers? What is it that he has not gotten from Rivers?
We are not saying here that Fubara cannot be impeached, but not in this circumstance. If he has committed any gross misconduct, fine. So if he breaks the law, he pays the price, but not in this circumstance. Like he said, they were all fighting for survival. Let's pass through this phase. If they had settled and they had presented the budget and all that, and then if anything happened thereafter, then it's understandable.
Let me tell you, when Fubara was saying a man that has pointed gun at you, pull the trigger, and it happens to be that there is no bullet has already killed you.
Yes.
That he was not ready. And that was why he was saying all these legislators are gone. We were here criticizing him.
I say you can't rule with 4 people.
We were saying you can't rule with 4 people. That is time for peace. If what you call peace is a platform for you to shoot me, he should go and demolish their residence. If the madness is what they want. These legislators, are they robots? Are they robots? That's the question.
No, it has not become the
fact
fact
he said, this is not the time of law.
Yes.
We can say no one person has monopoly of violence. So he's also not the one that has monopoly of violence. So mean that Fubara too has or can also be violent. So the essence of settlement, the essence of wait for a Supreme Court is for you to what did I do that you didn't do? So the essence of this Supreme Court judgment is to lay a groundwork for Fubara to be impeached. And Fubara will be watching at you, he has impeached me. See, Wike, I think he has learned a little things from Abuja. He thought he would take over people's land and they will keep quiet.
Anyhow.
Is he taking land again? In the last 3 months, do you hear it again? Do you think you come and attack people, you come and do something and those people will not react? It's not right. I had thought, like we have recommended, that after the Supreme Court judgment, everybody should shit their
In fact, they should all come together.
At least work for this tenure. See if they can move forward again, or when the election
pathways.
Pathways. Let Rivers have peace. Let Rivers have peace. Or let Asiwaju, like he has said, relieve Wike of his duty in Abuja. Let him go to Rivers and stay.
And settle matters.
It's good to command people to go to war.
Yes.
It's easy to order people to go to war. But if you are the one that will be at the forefront of the war, you will know that your body, blood they run too. Nonsense.
Well, we will keep on looking at how issues unfold in Rivers. But it's not the best of time for Rivers State at all. At least in the past 1 year, they've been on the news for negative, unrealistic things that is happening in Rivers State. But one of the things I also asked about, what of the elders in Rivers State? What is their stake? What are they saying? Who is bringing everybody together between the Jaws, the Equerries, and is there no voice that says, Wike, enough of this? If I will ask a question, Wike as a governor, will you come and be having political rallies all over the state on a monthly basis? And there's a governor that nobody did it under Wike. And for him to have a free fall, I mean, he's just doing whatever he likes. Goes to rivers when he likes, comes back when he likes, called pressmen. I asked the other day, I said, Wike has called more press
Conference than
Asiwaju. In fact, Asiwaju was on for 2 years now, only once. The one he did in Lagos. But Wike's one is on a perpetual, insulting everybody on television. It's abnormal, and this should not continue. Well, we'll be right back on News Insights.